Okay. Now, if the direction just says solve, if it only says solve and it's a quadratic, meaning the highest power is 2, you can solve it by factoring, completing the square, or quadratic formula. But if it says solve by factoring, then you have to solve by factoring, or solve by quadratic formula, you got to solve by quadratic formula. Here's where you got to be careful. This does not have a square, so you cannot solve it this way. You cannot use quadratic formula, completing the square, solving, or factoring. If the highest power is 1, you get the x's together, get the number on by itself, and then get a 1 in front of your x. In this case, divide by 9. Excuse me. So, this is a product equal to 0, so I said each one equal to 0. I don't know why. Most people tend to have more problem with this than any other problem with solving. So I divide by 3, subtract 6, subtract 1, divide by 4. Now, again, for these, if you want to use completing the square quadratic formula, go ahead. They're all factorable because that's what this topic is. Here, difference is squares. Now, you could add 9 to both sides. You could. And then square root. Don't forget the plus or minus. There are 2 answers. If you remember, when you have it written as a polynomial, the highest power is the number of answers. Now you say, Mr. Murphy, the highest power is 1. Well, it's not written as a polynomial. When you FOILed all this together, the highest power would have been 3. So this one, factor, be x plus 5, x plus 1. So x equals negative 5 or x equals negative 1. This one, so it'd be x minus 4, x plus 3. So x equals 4 or x equals negative 3. So that was factoring. You could have done quadratic formula. So not doing a lot of problems because this is not that old. But the highest power is 4, meaning there's 4 answers. But this is a square. So I know this factors up to x squared, x squared. So when you FOIL, you get x squared term, x squared term. What do you multiply to get 25, but you add to get 26? It's 1 and 25. Then you factor that up. Mercy. So it'd be x equals negative 5, x equals 5, or you could have put x equals plus or minus 5. Here, you could square root both sides, or you could FOIL this out, x plus 4, x plus 4. Subtract 4, then refactor it, and I'm really losing my voice. So x is negative 6, x is negative 2. This one you got to factor out the GCF. Then you factor this up, x plus 4, x plus 5. So x equals 0, x equals negative 4, x equals negative 5. So again, not a long review, Just trying to get your brain working on stuff we've done. Then I plan to make 1 or 2 videos on radicals. Might take me a little while. We'll see.